Hello and welcome to or welcome back to my channel. My name is Marin and here you will find a little beauty, a little books, and a little teaching content. So if that sounds like something you might enjoy, I would love for you to subscribe and stick around and join me in my little corner of YouTube. Today's video is going to be my 23 and 2023 wrap up. So let's go ahead and get into it. Now this is the third year in a row that I have made like a 20 blank and 2020 blank TBR. So I did one in 2021 and 2022, and I've never actually done a wrap up. So I decided this year I would go ahead and film a little wrap up, let you know my rankings on the books, and then I'm also going to just share some like overall stats in terms of these yearly TBRs, and that's what we're going to do. So I'm going to start off just by ranking the books from my least favorite to favorite. I have talked about all of these with the exception of the one that I finished in the month of December already. So I have already given my thoughts and things in either vlogs or in monthly wrap-ups, so I'm not going to do that here. This is just solely going to be me ranking them and then sharing some thoughts and some stats. So that's what we're going to do in this video. So I'm going to go ahead and start off with number 23, my least favorite of the year, which was The Forgotten Garden by Kate Morton. I just read this in the month of November, so you can check out my wrap-up up above to see full thoughts on this one, but this one was not my favorite, and I only gave it 2 stars. At 22, I had If We Were Villains by M.L. Rio, which I gave 3 stars. At 21, I have Barbed Wire Heart by Tess Sharp, which I also gave 3 stars. At number 20 is Angels and Demons by Dan Brown, which I also gave 3 stars. At number 19 is A Countess Below Stairs by Eva Ibbotson, which again I gave 3 stars. At number 18 is The Long Way to a Small Angry Planet by Becky Chambers, which I gave 3.5 stars. At number 17, I had Mrs. Frisbee and the Rats of Nim by Robert C. O'Brien, which I also gave 3.5 stars. At number 16 was The Devil in the White City by Eric Larson, which I gave 4 stars. At number 15 is Water for Elephants by Sarah Gruen, which I also gave 4 stars. At number 14 is In My Dreams I Hold a Knife by Ashley Winstead, which again I gave 4 stars. At number 13 is The Histories by Herodotus, which I also gave 4 stars. At number 12 is They Never Learn by Lane Fargo, which again I gave 4 stars. At number 11 is Jonathan Strange and Mr. Norrell by Susanna Clark, which I again gave 4 stars. Now this one is a spoiler because I have not done my December reading recap yet, but at number 10 is The Nightingale by Kristen Hanna, which I gave 4 stars. Coming in at number 9 is Lovely War by Julie Berry, which I gave 4 stars. At number 8 is A Good Girl's Guide to Murder by Holly Jackson, which I gave, you guessed it, 4 stars. At number 7 is Cleopatra A Life by Stacy Schiff, which I gave 5 stars. At number 6 is The 7 Husbands of Evelyn Hugo by Taylor Jenkins Reid, which I also gave 5 stars. At number 5 is The Upstairs Room by Johanna Reese, which I gave 5 stars. Very impactful considering how tiny it is. At number 4 is The Priory of the Orange Tree by Samantha Shannon, which I gave 5 stars. At number 3 is Out of the Easy by Ruta Sepetys, which I gave 5 stars. At number 2 is Watch Over Me by Nina LaCour, which I also gave 5 stars. And coming in at number 1, my favorite book of 2023 from this list, we have The Love Hypothesis by Ali Hazelwood, which I obviously gave 5 stars. Now, this breaks down to a total of 1 2-star book, 6 3-star books, 9 4-star books, and 7 5-star books. So I feel like all in all, this was a really solid list. Even though I had 6 3 stars, 3 stars are still decent reads. There was only 1 book that I didn't really like, which was The Forgotten Garden, and all of the rest of them were 3 stars or higher. So I feel like this was a pretty solid yearly TBR, and I'm very pleased with how things went. Now, comparing those ratings to my 2021 and 2022 lists, I'm gonna kind of do some breakdown of the ratings for those. So, for 2021 and 2022, I did have one book that I DNF'd and did not finish. I had 3 2 stars, 10 3 stars, 20 4 stars, and 9 5 stars. So I feel like those two lists, and I remember thinking this like when I was reading the books too, I was not as happy with how those two TBRs turned out. I definitely feel like 2023 was a much more solid TBR. I had a lot more fun reading these books than I did some of the books with those 2 years previous. And in terms of overall stats, the year that I had the most 2 stars was 2022. I had 2 2 stars plus a DNF in 2022, so not great. The year I had the most 3 stars was 2022 and 2023, because in both of those years I did have 6 3 stars. The most 4 stars was 2021 when I had 11 4 stars, so pretty good that year. And then the most 5 stars I had in a year was 2023, because I did have 7 5 stars from this list this year, which is definitely something that I was very pleased with, because some of the books on this list had been on my want to read list for a very, very long time. So it's nice when they turn out to be winners. I'm gonna go ahead and close out this video by sharing my favorites from 2021, 2022, and 2023 in terms of the yearly TBRs. So in 2021, my favorite book from my TBR for the year was Red, White, and Royal Blue by Casey McQuiston. This still remains one of my all-time favorite books, and I would love to find a chance to reread it at some point, so we'll have to see. Maybe I can squeeze that in 2024. My favorite book from 2022, I can't actually find on my shelves, but it is Anne of Green Gables by L.M. Montgomery. I loved this book. I also found like a really well done audio of it. Could definitely see myself rereading this at some point because I loved it so much. And then, as you already saw, my favorite from this year, 2023, is The Love Hypothesis by Ali Hazelwood. I had not read anything by Ali Hazelwood prior to this. This was the first book that I read by her, so I'm really hoping I like the rest of her books just as much, because I do own them. I picked them up solely because I liked this one so much. I read this in January, and it stayed my favorite throughout the entire course of the year. So this was a great way to start off the year in terms of my yearly TBR, and I'm looking forward to reading more from her in the future. So there you go. That is it. That is my 23 and 2023 wrap up. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, please leave me a thumbs up. Consider subscribing to my channel if you would like to see more from me. I will be sharing my 24 and 2024 TBR in a couple of days, so stay tuned for that. But other than that, I will see you in my next video. Bye, everyone.